1, 2, 3. I've been sitting here for the past 5 minutes trying to get this to work. I think it finally is. I'm trying to see though. AHS was streaming EA Sports UFC 2. Yeah. It's UFC 5, buddy. That's what it says on Twitch. Is EA Sports UFC 2. So y'all can tell that that's not what I'm streaming. Hello. I'm very happy to be here. I might not sound it. That's mainly because, again, I've been sitting here for the past 5 minutes trying to get this to work, and it is working now. But we're doing something for the first time on this channel. Recently, in our AHS Plays series, we completed our WCW My GM mode on WWE 2K24. And I pondered what would be next. What would be up next? What would our future be? I said, more than likely, it'd be something on NBA 2K25, which that's not what this is, but that's still an option. Or maybe something on UFC 5. Now, the main thing that I kept saying with UFC 5 is I didn't really know what to do or what to stream from UFC 5 because career mode gets very repetitive and is very much kind of a copy and paste from UFC 4, which you could say that about a lot of this game. But regardless, I, in this video, have put together a series of fights that I feel are very interesting, and I have a synopsis and reasoning for why they are taking place. So this could be the first of many times that I'm here playing with a series of fights. I probably should have phrased that a little bit better. But this is the inaugural time streaming UFC 5. I also don't have a clever name for it, which kind of throws things in to chaos. But more than likely, any time that I stream this, it's just going to be called first. So, for example, this is going to be the first time I'm streaming UFC 5. Next one will be second time I'm streaming, and so on and so forth, unless we come up with a creative title. And again, this might be a one-off. I mainly waited off for doing this until the new season started on this game. That way I could do challenges and level up my punch card. So that is why I waited until today to do so. So this should be an interesting test run of sorts. I'm about to participate in 5 different fights. Again, all have reasonings for happening, and hopefully it is successful and fun and we continue this series. I kind of look at it as Star Wars, where they set the foundation, they had the first event, and it was Star Wars, and then it built on from there. And I'm mainly only saying that from a name purpose because, like I said, it was Star Wars, and then later on they changed it to Star Wars: A New Hope. So if we add a name to this event, it would be A New Hope for that reason. But enough of me talking. Let's have some more talking, but enough for just this screen. Let's move on here. I will also apologize for audio. And this is a shout out to WWE 2K24, because that was the last game I streamed. With WWE 2K24, you go to streamer mode, makes things a lot easier. With here, and on NBA 2K25, you got to lower the volume of the commentators, the crowd, the music is the main thing. So the main reason that this is taking place at the Apex is that I know there's no commentary there. It kind of messes with my head a little bit because I'm so used to listening to John Anik and freaking Daniel Cormier. Granted, they say the same things over and over again. So if audio is an issue, I apologize and plan on working on it. If anything else is an issue, I'll try my best to work on it. But like I said, we have 5 fights. Again, all of which have reasoning for happening, and I have a synopsis put together for all of these fights. So I spent the last hour writing these 2 pages worth of notes that I have. So, our first fight to discuss. Now, initially, I planned on doing a series of fights that were with the Pride alter egos and labeling the series as Pride tribute fights. But due to the events that have happened earlier this week, it was announced that Bellator, the Bellator brand, would be disbanded and dissolve into the PFL, which was kind of already noticed, but Bellator is no more. And to celebrate its legacy of the company, two of its most notable alumni will compete one more time after their 2 bouts that they had in the company. And I won't lie to y'all, I thought they had already fought 3 times, but no. Their 3rd time that they will be fighting here, and the trilogy will be completed. I didn't write that last 2 sentences down, that's why I stumbled and jumbled through it. But Eddie Alvarez versus Michael Chandler will be our inaugural bout in a Pride, not a Pride tribute bout, a Bellator tribute bout. The next bout will be the first bout in our heavyweight Grand Prix, which if you want to know who the rest of the participants are, it will be revealed at the very end. But our first bout in our heavyweight Grand Prix will be 2 of the most dominant heavyweights of the 2010s. Cain Velasquez versus Stipe Miocic, a first-time bout. Cain Velasquez dominated the heavyweight division in the first half of the 2010s. Stipe, the second half. There's, of course, some people in between, but this is the first bout that we'll be doing at our heavyweight Grand Prix, and one I'm excited for. The next bout to discuss is a bout that was scheduled to take place at UFC 230, which, you know, this is I'm not gonna say I very rarely talk about UFC, but I don't always have the chance to talk about UFC. One of my least favorite events and fights in Daniel Cormier and Derek Lewis, but UFC 230, a cursed event. And this fight was scheduled to take place, but was canceled after Poirier's injury. And every so often you hear about the fight potentially taking place, and now you don't have to worry about that anymore, as it is happening right here. And why this next bout, why it's placed next to this next bout, and why this next bout is not the main event is because these 2 are tied together. Another what if, probably the biggest what if, one of at least, the biggest what ifs in MMA history. Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Tony Ferguson. A bout that was scheduled for 5 different times, and they never, ever got to fight. And this is the synopsis. And what is probably in the top tier of biggest what-ifs in MMA history, these 2 men need to be mentioned due to the several times they were scheduled to compete, and we were left without a bout. Title fights and win streaks attached to it, now the 2 will clash with one another. So, this is a 5-round fight. I don't remember if I made this a 5-round fight or not. The winner of this bout will be our lightweight champion. The winner of this bout will face the winner of this. So this is a number 1 contenders bout. So I want to make note of that. As our last bout, the completion of a trilogy that has spanned all around combat sports, but in the UFC, they are currently tied at 1-1. Alex Pereira versus Israel Adesanya. The completion of a trilogy. The title is on the line. That is why it is the main event. Now, I will say that I'm using middleweight Izzy. That way I got to use the alter ego, and light heavyweight Alex Pereira. That way I got to use its alter ego. In the grand scheme of things, I don't think it makes that big. It's mainly just for aesthetics. Height and weight, I didn't really take in until now, but again, I don't think that plays that big a factor. But the title that is on the line is to be determined due to that factor. So I will make note of that. And what the hell we do with the winner of this bout in the future will be determined, because, like I said, with our other champion that is being crowned, we at least know. So, let's start this off. My dog is asleep, like he is in most of my freaking videos now. Our first bout is this Bellator tribute bout, which I will also mention that I probably will call it a Pride tribute bout at least one more time. But like I said, it's very apropos to do this bout this week, because literally Bellator is disbanded this week, which is it sucks, but it's just like, I haven't really kept up with Bellator in a minute. I used to like when they did the Friday cards and put the prelims on YouTube. They were easy to attain and watch, and I didn't even know a lot of people that were competing there. I will say that I remember watching Fedor and Bator 1 and 2 and being. I tried to touch gloves and it wouldn't let me. So I'm not trying to be disrespectful. And be disappointed that Fedor lost both bouts. I also remember watching Fedor and Rampage. Rampage came out to the Pride song. That fight was in Japan. It was beforehand a big deal, and then when the event and fight took place, kind of wasn't. Kind of gets forgotten about. I do think the most notable thing I can't even really say in Bellator history, but it is freaking up there. Dada 5000 versus Kimbo Slice. I did watch that fight live. Love Kimbo. I very much did not know what the hell I was watching when it was going on. Then it was followed by Ken Shamrock versus Royce Gracie once more, which we get Ken Shamrock in this game. There's several things that need to be added to this game. And I'm going to be mentioning Pride a lot during the course of these fights, probably. Why is there not a Pride arena? That is one thing that really I question so much. This is a 3-round bout. I will also say that a lot of fights that I do in my spare time are 5-round fights. So it's a bit of a change of pace, I guess I should say. Like I said, I'm going to say that a lot. I like the alter egos and alternate attires that they give options for. And this is me dissing WWE 2K24 for a second. And just WWE games in general. If you want alternate attires in that game, you got to spend a lot more money in getting them through freaking My Faction. Unless you're using a custom character, which is a bit different. Which, to be fair, you could do that for a lot of people here. Regardless, with it being in My Faction, you're not even guaranteed to get it because, you got to buy the packs. And then if you want later on, you could buy the card later. More expensive. I also say this is probably on hard because this is a lot different than normal, but we shall see. I will also mention that I don't know what challenges I need to do to level up my punch card. And the punch card this season is not as loaded as last season, but last season lasted like 40-ish days, where this one lasts like 20 days. So I imagine they're trying to prepare for the next one. So there's that. See, I will also say it's a lot more difficult to get a submission on this game. The route that I go is damage the body because you need your opponent to have a low stamina. Now, I don't think in any of these bouts I'll be going for a submission. You need your opponent to have a low stamina. That way you can apply the submission and they can't break it up. Which one of the challenges for the UFC 311 stuff is to win via submission. Which I got in the last 30 seconds of the fight with Uriah Faber. Now, I like talking about other things, and I mentioned potentially doing a series on NBA 2K25, which I keep. It's another thing that I keep delaying, and the more I wait, it might come back to bite me. I think that I'm going to use the Brooklyn Nets. This is what I will say. I think I'm going to use the Brooklyn Nets. And I'm cleaning the house and trading everybody away. Now, the thing that is different, this is what's making me delay it, is I don't want to rebuild through the draft. I want to put together a team of players that are in the league now and that I know and I think can win a team. Now, granted, kind of goes against a lot of what I say, and is mainly just like I don't think you can like put together a team over a season and completely change. And I'm going to use a reference, but that's what I'm going to try to do in this series. I really like the Brooklyn Nets. I'm very much a guy that needs to be happy with the aesthetics. Now, the black and white jerseys are okay. I really love the retro Nets jerseys. That's why if you watch a lot of my videos, and a handful of my videos, I'm probably wearing the retro Nets hat or red, white, and blue in general with the champion stuff. So I really like the retro jerseys. Their city jersey is okay. They've had better ones, but that did come into a factor. So it's a little bit of a side tangent, I'll say. But yeah, I'm trying to build a team to my likeness. It might not necessarily be the smartest thing because I think obviously in real life they're trying to go through the draft and get youth and whatnot. I'm trying to put a team together for now. Now, with the timing of the season, probably won't win the title in our first year. Don't really need to, you know. I don't know how long the series to go because my two that I did on 2K24 last season lasted one season apiece. So we'll see. Very much the goal is one championship because that is what we did in the other two. So we'll see how that goes. So bit of a preview, I guess you could say. As we got things going on our side right now. 2 straight uppercuts. That was actually kind of crazy. Can we get another uppercut? Okay, he landed an uppercut. If you want to see the series continue, tell me some fights that you would like to see. Or fighters. Fighters or fights that you would like to see. Like I said, I will reveal that's a win right there. Our first win is with Michael Chandler in this series. But the heavyweight Grand Prix bracket will be revealed. And I will say, it's card subject to change because I was conflicted on one of the fights that I had down. And I kept going back and forth, and I think that I'm going to change it, and I think it'll be a change that the fans would be happy with, but I'll give my rationale once we get to it. So, like I said, that is I'm not going to say necessarily it's our main event, but it's the last thing you'll see, so it could be interpreted as that. I will say this as well, because I kept talking about having to mute everything and mute the soundtrack. This game and NBA 2K25 soundtracks are, you hear these songs over and over again. This game, especially because with 2K, they probably got like triple the amount of songs. Won one fight by KO in round 3. We did that. I think I won a fight by KO in round 2. That was one of them earlier. So let's go to the next fight, which this one, the biggest fight, literally, of the evening. Stipe Miocic versus Cain Velasquez. I also don't know what the thumbnail of this video will be because I do think that if I put this like card graphic that it looks nice and I can use it every time. If not, the backup plan is just to use the menu screen. And one of the things that I like about this game, the fighter that you last used is the one that appears in the menu screen. So I can constantly change it up and make different thumbnails, but time will tell there. But our first bout in our heavyweight Grand Prix, more than likely the winner will be our inaugural heavyweight champion. I'm being one of my favorite fighters of all time, Stipe Miocic. I used to say my favorite active fighter, but his last fight was his last fight. So I also think that they just recently added this Stipe tattoo because I don't remember it. Because I was like, Stipe has a tattoo. Where is it? So I think they just recently added it. The arm tattoo, because he obviously has the other ones as well. Uh, but like I said, Cain dominated the heavyweight division in the early 2010s. The JDS rivalry, slowed it down a little bit. Stipe dominated the second half, beating Overeem, or he beat Verdum, he beat Overeem, he beat JDS, and he beat Francis Ngannou, and then he had a trilogy with DC, who was one of Cain's teammates. Like I said, Stipe is one of my favorite fighters. He's in my Fave 5. My Fave 5 is Forrest, Chuck, Stipe, GSP, and Silva. Those three you can like interchange, but for the sake of this, I'll put Stipe 3, GSP at 4. I'm also glad that I have the... See, here I will say this is going to mess me up because I normally... Okay, we got done. The hell, I don't know how to get up because this is different. Because now I won't lie to you, I'm just pushing buttons. Because normally you don't have to like hit RB and whatnot. Because I don't know what the hell mode I got it on. He is going to take me down. Okay, no, he's not. I kind of got concerned there. We're taking a lot of damage. A lot more than I like to say. I will say as well, because I keep putting Stipe over. I probably, for the duration of this heavyweight Grand Prix, will be Stipe. I will just say that now. And if Brock Lesnar was in this game, he would have been in it, but he's not in this game. He's in UFC 4, which I don't. I can have a couple of reasons why he's not in this game, but I feel that he's important to the heavyweight history, and there are several bouts UFC wise that coulda and shoulda took place that didn't, that we could have done here, but we can go back in time, I guess, try to change that. Ah, he's gonna get me. He's gonna get me. Oh, blood is everywhere already. I could also say I plan on being Tony Ferguson. High chance we lose that fight because I've did that fight on here before and I did lose it. So I'm already pondering that because this is a bit more difficult than usual. He waited. He knew. All right. He knew when I let go of RT and LT. Thought he took more damage to the body. That's not necessarily the case. I've also made a video talking about the Jimmy Butler situation going on in the NBA and mainly why, I'm ready for a trade to take place, which by the time you're seeing this, it would have been uploaded. There we go. You gotta bounce. You gotta go back a little. That way they think you don't know, and then you got, Okay, kind of almost worked. Hit his hand. Okay, that could have been way worse. Okay, I don't like that he was able to push me away while stunned. That, you know. rush. He's okay. Stunned. He's gonna be stunned and take me down. Now, like I said, I don't like this, so that will be changed next time. Kind of wish that he would swing a little bit more. Oh, this is probably the. I keep thinking of like in advance of like topics, especially if I'm doing like a. Because I don't know how long the stream can go. Because all these fights could have went to decision. We would have been here for a while. I've had this game since Black Friday, and again, this was a good starting point because they just added it to EA Play, so a lot more people care about this. The main reason I didn't want to stream career mode is because it gets very repetitive. And I very much think that it's copy and paste from UFC 4. If you look at the posters in the background of your gym, kind of gives me that reasoning. But, it's not really much you could have changed. There probably could have been. Okay, don't like how soft that punch was. Okay. Yeah. Also, I'm fairly certain Herb Dean is not the biggest problem. I'm pretty sure Herb Dean is the only ref in this game. If there's a way to change your refs, I don't know. Which is not the biggest ordeal. Herb Dean's the most notable MMA ref. Maybe Big John McCarthy. Oh, no. Okay. We have our first person to enter the second round of the heavyweight Grand Prix. It is the man from Ohio, OHIO. I could have screamed it, but I didn't have the energy for it. That being Stipe Miocic. And this, I'll say once again, the rest of the bracket will be revealed later on. As we don't even get like a little, hand raise. I think I might have skipped it. 18-20, which is the same as the last fight. As we move on to a number 1 contender bout between Dustin the Diamond Poirier and Nate Diaz. It'd be weird because I'm used to Nate being at welterweight where these three that he's next to are lightweights. But if a change is needed for the title bout, we'll be willing to make it. Here we go. This, I will admit, is Dustin alter ego top 5 fave. So, might be a frequent. It's a frequent user offline. It might be a frequent user here, as well as I did make this a 5-round bout. So, will we need the full 5? Time will tell. Okay, maybe not. Probably not. Maybe not. We'll see. Nate Diaz is difficult to, beat. Probably also not the person you want a 5-round fight against. And I'll also say I did mention my fave 5 of fighters, and Forrest Griffin has an alter ego. Yet to purchase it. This is the other thing. All right. So I have not. I got the Ultimate Edition. Because I didn't want to have to go through the process of unlocking all those people. And granted, it would have took forever because I don't plan on putting additional money to this game. Granted, if you're an Xbox Core, what do they call it? Xbox membership holder, Game Pass. That is the membership holder. If you do a certain amount of like activities, mainly like play games and log onto the app, you get reward points. And so I finally earned enough reward points to redeem a gift card. So I got a $10 gift card. So the only additional money that I have put into this game was via gift card. I don't plan on putting any other money. I will admit that it takes a while after putting fights together and doing the fights and doing the challenges to earn the coins needed to unlock some of these people. But I mainly went off of like the limited time sales. So that's why I haven't gotten the Forest one yet, but it's next on the list unless a new one comes out that I'm like flabbergasted by, which the ones that were released this season I wasn't too thrilled and going out of my way to get. But we already unlocked Korean Zombie. My neighbor is leaving, scared the piss out of me. That's what we needed that one. JDS is the main one. The other two are Anthony Johnson and Clay Guida, which just goes into my other point. A lot of these like attires are ones that have been in like previous UFC games because it was mainly like from the last 10 years. So like the EA Sports UFC games, I should say. So it's kind of difficult to be that nostalgic for it because it hasn't been that long since we've seen, some of them. So that's another. It's not really that big of a deal, but small thought process that I have there. It's also weird because I purposely didn't want to be the blue fighter for all my fights. That's why I made Poirier the red glow fighter. But I keep looking at the blue area, which, is helpful regardless. Let's get back up. You know what? Let's go for it. All right, we're going for an armbar. That's not the plan, but see, look at this. I'm trying to go. There we go. You gotta use both sticks, I guess. I didn't know that. As we're not anywhere near the position to get it. Like I said, you need to work on your opponent's stamina first. See, I think I'm figuring it out. Actually, no, I'm not. Okay, we're now up. That shot only was a chip shot, elbow. As Herb Dean gets in the shot of the KO, which is a bit funny. But our number one contender for the lightweight championship Dustin the Diamond Poirier. Who will he challenge for it? We'll find out in a few moments. If I do an event at the Spear, I need to use all alter ego attires because I don't. If you want to use Spear / Noche attires, it's fine. As well, it's not the biggest deal. We're 35 minutes in, just fine. As we do have two. See, I got confused for a second. I was like, how is he winning that? But I was the red. We got 2 5-round bouts up next. 2 title bouts. Our inaugural champions will be crowned here. The first of which, like I said, the fight is finally taking place. Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Tony Ferguson. I'm going to try to be Ferguson and try to win this. So let's see where this goes. So I will say for maybe the winner of this fight, we'll see. And the winner of Izzy. So I think with Alex and Izzy, I'm going to be Alex. I think that the plan is to go against fighters that he couldn't and can't go against in older fighters, mainly champions. Call it the Legends series or Championship series. I'm still figuring that all out. And so, like, the same can be said here because Khabib's been retired for a minute. It doesn't help that most of the contenders that are here now he's already won against or is Islam. But I do feel that a Khabib-Charles Oliveira fight will, if I do another event, that fight will happen at some point because I am intrigued by that belt. So I'm trying to get up. How do I get up from here? I think I got to do this first, and then, yeah. So I don't like this whatsoever. Especially being on the ground against Khabib. I don't. She's not in the biggest rush to get up. So just teasing about it. I probably shouldn't be teasing. This is a title fight. Hey! My dog was trying to freaking bounce all over my bed. I couldn't have that happening. I need him to lean in and I'm going to do a knee. Okay. I shouldn't have been saying it all out loud. See, I'll also say that I'm not even using the right. All right, right now I am, but when it first started, I wasn't even using the right stick. Okay, what I was saying before he took me down, I need him to lean in with a punch and then go for a knee. Right now he's going low with the punches, so maybe he can hear me. Okay, one more. It does not help because I feel that if this fight happens again, you don't know who wins, but it doesn't help that Tony is on a massive losing streak right now, so it kind of makes it seem Khabib probably would have won. Also, probably shouldn't be talking about it in the middle of the fight actually taking place. This also, makes for an intriguing fight with Tony and Dustin. Because Dustin, both of them, mainly Dustin, have went through almost everybody, a who's who, as they would say. And so to check another name off the list would be, a plus. He knows when to take us down. She probably should, to be fair. I knew it the moment I let go. Kind of throwing everything at the wall at the moment. This has been a very back and forth bout. Not anymore because he took us down for a fourth time, I believe. As every shot we try to take, we were too far away for. Okay, that was a. I wish I was holding on to the. Everything started getting spinny. Might be gassing ourselves out a little bit too much, so I might need to slow things down. Or speed it up. Or speed it up. My mustache is itching. Top 3 weirdest comments I've said on here. I probably said a lot worse. I also said weirdest, not worst. Okay, he's going to get us. He's going to get us because I did go to wipe my mustache and had to let go of LT. So, let's see what this comment says. Almost every time I have a comment on Twitch, it's about buying something, so I am going to ignore it. Right there, we needed that one. That we didn't need. This might be helping us. So you see the little challenge down there. I'm very bothered by that one because I was prepared for it. And he's going for submission, which, you know, could be, you know, a good assessment to have. We're very close. If we apply it one more time, we might be able to get it. And that's what we did. And that's what we did. And we got him to tap. We got him to tap. We got Khabib to tap. And Tony Ferguson is our lightweight champion. A future bout with Dustin Poirier will be lined up if we do any more of these fights. I'm very surprised that Khabib was able, I'm not gonna say let us do that, but we were able to pull that off on Khabib, I guess is what I should have said. And finally, a crowning achievement many MMA fans would have loved to seen happen. Well, that's why we're here on the video game. So first of all, he landed 8 takedowns, which is a bit insane. We landed 78 strikes. Now, the judges' scorecard, always a noteworthy thing to go through. And we were up. So there's that. As we have one more fight to go to the completion of a trilogy. Izzy versus Pereira 3. I'm not talking about their non-UFC bouts, obviously, because I wasn't really paying attention to those. So I wasn't paying attention to those. So we're gonna be chumma. It's fun to say. Don't even really know what it means. As I believe we also both have the gold gloves on. Which the UFC quickly got rid of those. So this be, if I had to make a guess, this ain't going the full 5. Okay. Don't have to worry about holding LT as much as I did the last fight. Okay, the moment I let go of RT, that happened. Oh, that could have been nice. It could have been nice. It probably also would have been to the back of the head. There we go. Will that do it? No, we still got seconds left. Okay, we are moving on to the second round. There's also a bit in me. I'll tell y'all this now. I plan on doing this fight again off cameras, both at the light heavyweight version. That way, if I could tell if there's a difference or not. And I will say, if I lose, I will comment and tell y'all that down below. So, Because I didn't realize it until ultimately. I'm not gonna say it doesn't matter, but I didn't even really think of it until I'd already pressed for the fight to start, or I'd already submitted. And like I said, I wanted both fighters to have their cool shorts. So, and I couldn't have done that at middleweight or at light heavyweight. Light heavyweight, because Izzy doesn't have special shorts there. We did lean a little bit too much there. But it doesn't matter, as he's dabbing and losing. Alex Pereira has won to be our first light heavyweight champion. / middleweight champion, potentially, because I don't know yet what I'm doing at that division. So I will say what does come to mind. So my thing that I have planned here for future, if we do future, which I enjoyed this. I genuinely enjoyed this. Got about an hour's worth of content, close to an hour's worth of content. I had fun. We got some punch card notes done. So I accomplished everything, or what I wanted to accomplish. But if I, the idea is to use Alex Pereira against light heavyweight / middleweight legends. So we'll see how that goes in the future. As y'all can see, my custom guy with a Pride shirt on, which I earned today. I also will it go back to the event? It should tell us like fight of the night. Yeah. So fight of the night KO. Fight of the night. It's like, all right. I don't know if that's really the case, because I think that Cain. Actually, I think the first fight probably should have got fight of the night, but all of them really had a good case. Obviously, submission of the night went to the only submission of the night. Glad that they had that little note. So this is the first event in our history. Very fun. Like I said, if I was to name this, I would have called it. I'll call it something like, the first or A New Hope. I think because I gave the Star Wars comparison, that I'd probably call it A New Hope. Now, what y'all care to see? What should I put at the thumb? Should I put this? Because I like this a little bit more. So by the time that it's uploaded, I've already made a decision, which is a good thing, because I got like a day to make that decision. Should I make this the thumbnail or the one with all the fights in it? So we'll see closer to time. But the thing that I've talked about continuously, the rest of our Grand Prix bracket for our heavyweight Grand Prix. Now, I will make note that because I have it here, this doesn't carry over to the event section. So I will say that. So just because it's locked here, there's one fight that I plan on changing. I'm still thinking about it. We will see. But the rest of the heavyweight Grand Prix. Stipe, you saw advance. Now, I'm gonna do something very funny. I'm gonna sim this, and I'm gonna hope that Stipe wins it, as he does. Thank you so much, Stipe. But Fedor Emelianenko will be facing Alistair Overeem. The winner advances to face Stipe Miocic. Now, the fight that I keep talking about potentially changing: Jon Jones, Daniel Cormier 3, one of the greatest rivalries in mixed martial arts / UFC history, adds one more chapter, and this time at heavyweight. Now, I will say, I might change this to Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. I got some time to think about it. It won't be the next fight to take place in this will be Fedor and Overeem. But there is a bit of me that wants to change this to Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall. I kind of also wanted to give a shot of redemption for DC, but we will wait and see there. as the last one, the two boxers, the pre-order bonus, as I like to call them, Mike Tyson versus Muhammad Ali. Mike Tyson is a lot of fun to use on this game, so I wanted to get him involved here as well. But our heavyweight Grand Prix to determine our first heavyweight champion. We might, and what logically makes sense is to not add. So right now, we got the lightweight division, light heavyweight division / middleweight, because Izzy and Pereira could have been at either or, TBD. And the heavyweight division. So once this, because I also don't want to do like multiple Grand Prix at once. So I might we'll probably finish this one out and add a new division to use and start a Grand Prix there as well. So I like saying that terminology, but it ended up being a tongue twister sometimes. So I don't know if there's anything else of note to go through. Like I said, I had a lot of fun doing this. This might not be a weekly occurrence. It might be a monthly occurrence. Who knows? Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like. Comment some fights and fighters you would like to see be used here as well. Enjoy the rest of your time in the day that you're watching this. Please stay safe. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one because I'm out for now. Goodbye.